Why trust is essential for healthy relationships, backed by science. Mended Light.
What if I told you trust isn't just emotional, it's also biological? And without it, your brain literally struggles to function the way it was designed to. Most people think trust is optional, something nice to have. But the truth is your brain and body are wired for trust. And when it's missing, everything changes.
In this series, we've been exploring trust through the work of Dr. Henry Cloud. And today, we're getting deeper into something powerful. Why trust isn't just psychological, it's neurological. This isn't just about relationships, it's about how your brain regulates safety, energy, and connection. So if trust has ever felt hard for you, if you have trust issues, this might help you understand why.
Is there anyone that doesn't have trust issues?
Everyone's got trust issues.
Okay, so trust is a safety signal. At its core, trust is about safety. Your brain has one primary job: to detect threats and keep you alive. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala. Think of it like your internal smoke detector. When trust is high, your brain says, I'm safe. There's no smoke, there's no fire, there's nothing to worry about. And something incredible happens. Your nervous system relaxes. Your mind becomes clear. Your body shifts out of survival mode. Ooh. But when trust is low, your brain flips into protection mode. Hypervigilance, anxiety, fight, flight, freeze, show up. In simple terms, trust allows your brain to move from protection to connection and creation.
And here's what most people don't realize. Your brain isn't designed to regulate stress alone. We are wired for connection. As humans, we're deeply interdependent. From the moment we're born, we rely on others to regulate our nervous system. As infants, this could be our parents or our caregivers, and it's called co-regulation. Think about a baby. When they cry, they can't calm themselves. They need someone else to hold them, soothe them, and help them to feel safe. Over time, their brain learns, I'm okay, this will pass, and that becomes the foundation of trust. Research shows that when we're with someone we trust, stress systems calm down, our body relaxes, and we feel more stable. This is part of what's known as social baseline theory. In other words, your brain expects support, not isolation. Now, Super Clip is here to save the day. I've got a clip from Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso, actually, you don't need a lot of context. Just know that he's got a lot going on in his life and it's overwhelming him, and his friend's going to be there for him. So he's triggered, overwhelmed.
Ted.
Doesn't feel safe.
Ted.
Here's his friend Rebecca.
It's okay. It's okay. Try to breathe.
I can't. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're having a panic attack. Just breathe.
I'm going crazy.
No more than anyone else.
The way her hands on his help soothe him, the way her touch and gentleness, see how he,
Brings him back to the present moment.
slows down his heart rate. His muscles relax.
There we go.
I think I'll call it a night. You know, I guess I'm gonna go back to the hotel and just get a good night's rest. You know.
Would you like me to walk back with you? Do you want to take my car?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
This is such a powerful example of what we're talking about. We're wired not just for connection, but connection helps us to regulate. And yes, we can have that connection with ourselves like you're talking about. We can give ourselves that regulation. But I feel like it's much more of a straight shot when you have someone with you that you trust.
Well, and the difference is, so connection is what we're wired for, right? Yeah. And when we feel safe, we're able to be in connection and creation. And we don't come with the ability to self-regulate. Our nervous system grows into that. And so as infants and babies and toddlers, we co-regulate. We co-regulate from infancy all through childhood and into adulthood. And then once we have a fully developed nervous system as an adult, then we can self-regulate. But that's learned throughout our entire childhood from the time we're born. So if you have challenges with self-regulating, it could be because your nervous system never learned what it felt like to be safe,
Yeah.
right? And so what that co-regulation looks like now, what a supportive version of that co-regulation looks like now is ultimately up to you.
Right.
But if there's challenges there, you're not wrong, you're not broken, it's very real, and there is always a solution. And the thing is, even though it's challenging as an adult, there can be that hurt from what you weren't given and what you needed, and you can grieve and you can mourn that hurt, and you can say, okay, as a child, I didn't have the ability or the capacity to give myself what I need now. As an adult, I have that opportunity.
Right.
And so whether that's close friends or family that you can trust, whether that's a weighted blanket, whether that's soothing meditation music, whatever that looks like for you.
And I love, going back to the clip for a second, how Rebecca shows that she is safe and trustworthy.
Yeah.
It's all just in her tone, and the way she touches him, the way she talks to him is respectful and safe and welcoming and compassionate. And that space allows him to pretty quickly come down.
Yeah. Well, and instead, I'm gonna add a little tangent here. We're not gonna go too far, but we all experience triggers, and in this situation, it was fairly significant, right? Like anybody that's watched Ted Lasso knows what a fun character he is, knows how happy and go-lucky and lighthearted he is, and he's showing up in this space that is absolutely not that, and he's completely lost it, right?
Yeah.
And this is, in the show, a catalyst moment for him making some big shifts for things that he's buried.
Yeah. Well, and it's important for him to be seen as fun-loving and caring and, likable. But this is not a side of himself that he's shown to anybody. And so for Rebecca to follow him out and immediately not judge him, not think he's gone crazy, when he says, I'm going crazy, that there's a self-judgment there. And she says, no more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Just this immediate, all of you, however you are, whatever you're going through, is acceptable to me. You belong.
Yeah.
You're enough. She's conveying all of that with her actions. And that's crucial for why he's able to regulate. That's why he's able to calm down.
Yeah. And that vulnerability, even though Ted didn't choose that vulnerability, he was pretty much forced into it by his body. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was safety in that vulnerability creates even more trust.
Yeah.
So talking about the chemistry of trust and what's happening in your body. When you feel safe with someone, your brain releases chemicals like oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It's released when someone listens to you, you feel understood, you experience connection, and it tells your body you are safe now. And it feels good.
Yeah.
Dopamine reinforces that experience, and your brain says, that felt good. Let's remember this. Let's do it again. And your body begins to associate connection with safety. And that's why trust feels so good, because your body was designed for it. It's also why we get so dysregulated when there is a lack of trust.
Yeah. But here's where this gets really important. If trust was inconsistent growing up, your brain may have learned something very different. If your early experiences were inconsistent, unpredictable, or unsafe, your nervous system may have adapted by becoming hyper-aware, always scanning for danger, always asking, is this safe? And here's the key, that's not a flaw. It's a feature, not a bug. It's an adaptation. Your brain learned, I need to protect myself, and this is how I do it. So you insert coping mechanisms of hypervigilance, avoidant attachment, disorganized attachment, or anxious attachment, all of which can be a survival mechanism when there is no safety or trust. But now, as an adult, those same patterns can make trust feel difficult. Not because you're broken, but because your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. And this is, you've talked about this, the things that helped you before and protected you before are now keeping you stuck.
Yeah.
If you grew up in a home where vulnerability was punished or mocked or led to withdrawal,
Or there wasn't even the space for it.
Yeah.
And even if it's not vulnerability, maybe it's just feeling your emotions.
right?
Like,
Just
there was no space to talk about how you feel. You just got to do the next thing.
Yeah. You learned that if I withdraw within myself, if I don't express what I'm feeling, that's how I stay safe. And that served you in that era. But what if now you're with a wise person, somebody who sees and loves and accepts you as you are and wants you to open up?
Yeah. Well, and they have the maturity and the emotional maturity and the capacity to take what we would say the good with the bad, but that's full of judgment. What I would say is the pretty parts with the rough parts, right?
Yeah.
Because there is no good and bad. There's just developed and undeveloped, right?
Right.
there's just growth and growth opportunities.
And now the withdrawal and internalization that kept you safe before may be preventing you from fully connecting and enjoying a healthy relationship now. I like to talk about monkey bars. If you're playing on the monkey bars on the playground, there's a bar that you grabbed that helped you to swing forward. It got you to where you are now, but if you keep holding on to it, you're not going to keep progressing. It's time to let go.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's really important. I love that you brought up that fact, and I want to talk about a little bit about my experience growing up, and it's not that my parents weren't good people, and it's not that they didn't come from good homes. And I'm gonna just talk about this through the lens of our personalities course, because it's so easy. Like, I grew up in a very closer household, and they were both of my parents had strong closer traits on the not mature side. And so on the not mature side, it looks a lot like pull yourself up by the bootstraps, figure it out. And then by nature, I'm a closer, right? So I had this like triple dose of closer. And closers are excellent doers. They're excellent at figuring things out. By nature, they think that they have to do everything themselves anyway. The thing is, when you live in that space, that's not a space of connection. That's not a space of co-creation. That's not a space of chosen interdependence. It's a space of hyper self-reliance. And I once had a friend say to me, are you so self-reliant because that's who you are by nature, or is that who you had to be? And I was like, there's no way to answer that question. Like, what portion of this is nature and nurture? And I'm not saying any of that is wrong. What I'm saying is I got to a point in adulthood where it's like, I don't want to feel like the entire weight of the world is on my shoulders. And I had to acknowledge the ways that I participated in co-creating a reality where the entire weight of the world was on my shoulders. So here's the hopeful truth. Oh, one other thought that I had, that as I was creating these outlines, something really hit me very hard, that the same circumstances can create drastically different coping mechanisms. Like, even though it was a circumstance that caused me to be hyper independent and hyper vigilant and avoidant attachment, someone else in that same circumstance, their solution could have been to become anxious, right? And so it isn't, oh, you experience something like this, and therefore your coping mechanism is always X, right? The same circumstances create these adaptations, create these coping mechanisms. And if we can see our coping mechanisms as adaptations that were made from a place that was the best I could do at the time, instead of lifelong character flaws, we begin to see ourselves with compassion, and we begin to see ourselves with understanding. And then we go, okay, I can see where this was created. I can see how it was created. What do I want to do about it now?
Yeah, I love that. Pound it. Now here's the hopeful truth. Your brain is malleable. Neuroplasticity is a thing. Your brain can change, it can heal, and you can learn to become a safe place for yourself. Through things like mindful breathing, self-compassion, rewiring unsupportive thought and belief patterns to supportive ones, learning healthy relationship principles and applying them so you can have safe relationships now. You can begin to rebuild those new internal pathways, because trust isn't just something you feel towards others, it's something you also build within yourself. And when you do, everything changes.
That concept of that trust isn't just an outward thing in other relationships, it's also within yourself, is so, so powerful. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like your biggest challenge is trusting others or trusting yourself? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to go deeper, we've created an entire YouTube trust series that walks you through how trust is built, what breaks it, and how to repair it. You can watch that next. And if you are ready to really build these skills step by step, you can take our full trust building course on our membership site for just $1, link in the description. Remember, you are wired for connection. You are capable of trust. And with time and practice, you can build it.
Until next time, friends, keep shining.
We need your light.